In this video, we are going to go over the follow-up area. We're going to learn how to see all of your follow-ups, how to delete a follow-up if you no longer need it, how to reschedule a follow-up, and how to complete a follow-up. Let's go ahead and get started. Right here in this area is where your follow-ups for that day will propagate. Your follow-ups will propagate to here automatically on the day that they are due. There's nothing you need to do. On the day that they are due, they will show up right here. Now, if you want to see all of your follow-ups, see what past due follow-ups you have, what follow-ups you specifically have for today, and what upcoming follow-ups you have, you can just click the See All button right here. And when we do, we can see that we have several different tabs here that we can filter exactly the way we want to see our data. So the first one is just today, only follow-ups that are due today. And we can go ahead and click right there. And now we see all of these follow-ups that are due today. We can also see ready. Ready will be all of your past due follow-ups, not specifically ones today. And of course, we don't have any because I have none that are past due. And then we'll have our upcoming follow-ups. Upcoming follow-ups will be any follow-ups that are scheduled ahead of today. So maybe they're scheduled tomorrow, the next day, the next week, the next month, the next year. And you can, of course, scroll through and see all of those right there. Now, there are many different things that you can do in this area. Let's stay on upcoming and take a look at some of those. Let's say that you made your follow-up for Alyssa right here, but then you realize that you got her birthday wrong. This is going to be a birthday wish, and you realize, oh my goodness, it's not May 6th, it's actually May 7th. Let's go ahead and open that up. And we can actually edit this follow-up by clicking on this button right here. When we do, we can either change the text of the note of what we're going to do. We can also change when the follow-up will be. So I'm going to set this follow-up for the 7th of Friday instead of the 6th and just hit OK. Now, to complete whatever changes I've made and make sure that they stay saved, I just hit the save button. Now it's showing that her birthday is, her birthday wish reminder for me will be on May 7th. So to back out of this, we just hit this back arrow again. And when we do, we have upcoming follow-ups again. And let's say that we had a follow-up that we no longer need. Maybe we already did the follow-up, or maybe for some reason we just no longer need the follow-up that we're going to be doing. Let's go ahead and look at Harry Trent right here. If we wanted to completely delete that follow-up, all we would have to do is press our finger on the follow-up and drag it over to the left. Then you'll see this delete button come up. So as soon as you press the delete button, now you'll be able to delete that follow-up. So far we have covered the follow-up area, how to see your follow-ups today, how to see your past due ones, and how to see your upcoming ones as well. Now, one thing I want to make sure that you are aware of is that you can schedule multiple follow-ups for the exact same person. And why would you want to do that? Well, one may be a birthday reminder, another may be something like a business meeting, or maybe an anniversary reminder, reminder to make sure that they've got their ticket to convention. Any of those kinds of things you can create follow-ups for. And if you have a system where you automatically like to have all the follow-ups scheduled for somebody, it's very quick and easy to do those. And you can schedule all of your follow-ups or do a follow-up to follow-up as you meet with somebody. Now, the last thing that we're going to do is we are going to complete one of our follow-ups. And on the last video that we did with creating a new contact, you created a contact for me, for Elizabeth. Now, you can either use that follow-up or one of your other follow-ups if you'd like to follow along. But all we have to do is to complete a follow-up. We open that up, and we've got several buttons here that we can use. We can call, we can text, we can email, and if we've completed the follow-up, we can mark as done. Now, we can also see some pretty in detailed profile information by clicking on my name or the person's name that you're working with. I actually have another video that will be going over that information with you and showing you organization of your contacts. But for right now, let's go ahead and pretend that we've completed this follow-up, and we're going to click Mark as Done. When we do, we of course get the new note. Now, anytime you create a new contact or complete a follow-up, the system will always ask you for the note. It's so you can remember those most important details of what you did with a person or what you need to remember about that person. So we're going to go ahead and touch on our screen so our keyboard shows up. We're going to use our voice to text, which we talked about in the last video. And I'm going to go ahead and make a note on this. Completed the Zoom meeting with Elizabeth, period. If I have any questions, I need to reach out to her, period. Remember, she has office hours every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time, period. She also does a live onboarding training every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. Perfect. Now we're going to hit save. Now, of course, it will ask me for the follow-up because we always go follow-up to follow-up, meeting to meeting. We don't like to leave things just kind of, oh, we'll see if we get back to this person again. We're networking, we're building relationships, and we have a plan. So of course, we're going to set a follow-up. Now, if for some reason you didn't need a follow-up, let's say you already had a follow-up scheduled, or for some reason you really just did not need that follow-up, you could click not needed, and then it would never remind you to follow up again. But for our purposes, I'm going to press today, and we are going to go ahead and set a follow-up. And I, again, press anywhere in this area to pull up your keyboard, and we're going to voice to text. 1 p.m. live office hours with Elizabeth on Wednesday. Perfect. Okay, now let's hit save. Perfect. Now we have just completed a follow-up. So we've reviewed the follow-up area, showed that we can delete a follow-up, we can edit a follow-up, and we can complete a follow-up. If you still have questions or if you need help, please join me each week for my live training and office hours. Every Tuesday, we do live onboarding training at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. We do full demonstrations of the app and desktop, cover social media integration, and how-tos on using this wonderful technology. Have more specific questions? Come to my live office hours every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. You can ask how to utilize this technology for your specific business. Maybe you need it for your team. Have affiliate questions? Any of these can be answered during my office hours. I hope to see you there, and please let me know if you need anything. We thank you for being part of Contact Mapping.